What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Travis. Of course, this is TW Motorsports, and today we are working on the white truck. Now, these are things that have been annoying me since I bought this thing. You guys know in the last video we put some speakers in. That was annoying me. Before that, we did the wheels and tires because I had a wheel or tire that was bad. Also, both my mirrors were cracked, so we did that. So this poor thing has not been washed. But two things that have really been bothering me, and I didn't talk about when I first bought this thing, but well, one of them I did, I guess, the console. So I have been looking like crazy for a tan center console, like the whole center console that bolts to the dash, kind of like what we just put in the green truck. Well, I found one, and there it is over there. And so today we are going to be putting that in, but I'm not going to show you guys a step-by-step on how to do that because you guys just saw it in the green truck, so there's no sense in doing that. Again, the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to shampoo the carpet. So I'm taking all the seats out. Obviously, we got to take the front seats out in order to get the console in. So what I'll do is I'll probably time lapse the cleaning of the carpet because I don't know if you guys are weird like me. I really like to see like stains like that come out. I don't know. I'm just weird like that. So anyway, the other thing, and it's a pretty common problem on these things, is the center air conditioner control. So while I'm driving down the road, it starts out, everything's good. And then sometimes it's like 2 minutes into the drive, sometimes it's like, I'll drive the whole day. But this side, so the driver's side goes hot, while the passenger side stays cold. Well, it's pretty common for the actuators to fail on these. And there's actually, on these type of trucks, sometimes there's multiple actuators. In this one, I know that there's two for sure. There's one for the driver's side, there's one for the passenger side. Now, we kind of lucked out in the fact that the one that's broke here is the driver's side. And the driver's side one is actually on the bottom of the dash here. The passenger side, on the other hand, is a little bit more cumbersome to get to because you have to take the dash pad off and all of this stuff out of the way in order to get to it. So it's a little more cumbersome. I say a little, it's way more cumbersome. On this one today, we're going to start with showing you how to replace this. And honestly, guys, you're supposed to have a Tech 2, which is a GM specific tool in order to recalibrate this. Now, if you want to do that, you can run it to your GM dealer. They can recalibrate it. But I'm going to talk about the way that I'm going to do it. And there are methods to calibrate it without doing that. But the very first thing we need to do is we'll get under here and I'll show you what you need to take off. And like always, guys, I will show you the part that I'm using. I could not find a GM one, so I did order an aftermarket one, so hopefully it fits, but we will see together. But I'm gonna go grab some tools. We will get under this dash and we will start there. So the very first thing we need to do is we need to take the 7mm out that hold this plastic plate. It's kind of like a decorative plate, so you don't have to look at all the grossness under here. But there should be around 3 of them. There's like one here, one in the center, and then this one over here is going to be a little harder to get to. But I'm going to go ahead and take all 3 of those out, and then we'll pull this guy out of the way. So as you can see, we got it out of the way. I will tell you there were 4 of them, and the ones on that's right here is kind of a pain to get to. But I just used a deep socket on it and was able to get it out. The rest of them I was able to get out with my little impact. But Blend Door Actuator. So here it is right here. And it actually looks like there's another one right there. Maybe that's not what that is. Anyway, so we need to unplug this guy. We should. There we go. It is unplugged. And there's 2, it looks like 7mm to take it out. Now once we loosen that, you may have to wiggle it back and forth and pull it straight down in order to get it out. So when I said these 2 bolts look like 7s, they're actually 5.5mm. So luckily I do have a 5.5. There's just not a ton of room here. Now I doubt they're really tight. Okay, they're too tight for me to get out by hand, but I'll grab my ratchet and we'll get them out and pull this thing straight down. So as you can see, I got the old one out and it pulled, yeah, it was a little snug, but it pulled right down. So this is the new guy, and you'll notice that they're facing, this little guy here is facing a different direction. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to attempt to get this to turn, and I don't know that that necessarily matters, but I'm going to try to get it to turn the exact same way that the one I took out was, because when I came home, this was actually working. So the other thing, guys, is there's been some talk about popping this thing open and cleaning the contacts and that fixing it. So, and then I've heard other people say they cleaned it and it worked for a little bit and then it quit. So these are relatively cheap. I want to say they were like, it was like $20 some, and I think it's probably worth it just to buy another one. Now, I'd rather have a GM part, but we'll just see if this works. I'm going to go ahead and put this one back in place after I turn this a little bit. We'll put the 2 bolts back in. Notice it has 3 spots but only the outer two here bolt on. I'm sure that this probably works in another area. In fact, it's probably the same one that's in the passenger side as well. But I'm gonna go ahead and put this thing in. We'll run those bolts back down, and then we'll talk about how we're going to actually set it. So like I said, I don't have a Tech 2. I have access to a Tech 2, but it's not here. And so I'm not even gonna worry about that. I'm just gonna show you guys how to do it without the computer. See, I have it bolted in. And guys, this is just plastic, so don't over tighten this because you will strip it out and then you won't have anything to bolt it to. And then you're in a huge mess because you're gonna have to source all this box down here because it's built into this actual blower box. So I also went ahead and plugged it in. I don't know if I already said that. I may already said that. Anyway, now that we've done that, before I put all this back into place, I may not do that because I'm gonna probably clean the carpet up to this point. I don't really know why I'm messing with cleaning the carpet here, but I probably will. Anyway, we're gonna go see if we can get this set. So in order to set this or recalibrate it, we need to unhook the battery for at least 1 minute. So I'm gonna set this, unhook the negative side of the battery. We're gonna let it set for at least 1 minute, and then we'll hook it back up. We'll go in the truck and we'll talk about what's next. So it's been a minute. I'm gonna go ahead and hook this back up. And we need to get in the truck. If I can get this going the right way here. Just an 8mm generally is what these take. Ratcheting wrenches work awesome. So we need to start the truck. And this is very important. Do not touch any of this for at least 4 minutes. Turn my radio down here. And I could hear it switch. So I don't know if you guys noticed what time it was. The clock reset. So now it's 12:05 on the clock. Even though that's not right, we have to reset it. But it's been at least 5 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off. I'm gonna take the key out. And then we're gonna restart it and we're gonna check to make sure that the blend door is working. So at this point you can go ahead and see if the doors are working, and it is going to hot. See if it goes back to cold. Oh yeah, it is working. Now I'm really not, like I said, sometimes you started it up and it worked, so I guess technically I'm not really gonna know for a couple days, but I think this probably fixed our issue. It's pretty common in these. Go back up the hot on this side. Oh yeah. Well, it's working. It's switching back and forth, which is good. I never really messed with it. I'd always try to move it up and down to try to fix it, but that seems to have fixed our issue, guys. Like I said, relatively cheap part, and you know, not a lot to it, honestly. Now, like I said, the other one, you have to take all this apart and get the dash pad off, which it's not really hard. It's just a lot of stuff to take off. So now, let's move on. And like I said, I'll probably time lapse most of this stuff because you guys already seen me install the center console in my other truck, but I really like to show you guys what I'm cleaning and what I'm doing. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take all this stuff off the dash that I'm not going to need, or that I'm going to need out of the way in order to get the console in. And the reason I'm going to do that is because all that dirt will drop on the ground, and well, I don't want to clean it up again. So we'll get all this stuff out of the way. I'll set you guys up on a tripod. You guys can see me get this stuff out, and then we will get the seats out, the center console or the current jump seat, whatever they want to call it. I'm probably not going to take the back seats out just because they're a little more in depth to take out, and to be quite honest with you, I can get to these spots, these stains with the seats in place. So not too terribly bad. Let's see if I can, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think I can clean these in place. That needs to be dealt with anyway. So got a lot of cleaning in front of me, guys, so stay tuned to see this thing get all cleaned up here. Well, we're all finished up. Let's take a look at it. And guys, I think it looks a lot better. Obviously, we don't have the metal jamming me in the arm, and the console looks a lot nicer. It definitely does. Now, I sourced this out of a salvage yard. It's taken me a while to find one that was tan. Generally, when I'm looking for tan, not tan, that's all you find. When you're looking for dark gray, you can't find any dark gray, and it was just the opposite now. So anyway, we're all finished up. I did go over the seats a couple times. They could stand to go over maybe a couple more times. The problem with like the extractor over my steamer is you actually drag up stuff that's in the foam where the steamer kind of just takes it off of the top. So some spots showed back up as it started to dry, but I can deal with that. I might go over it down the road later, but I just wanted it clean. And that's, guys, that's the way I do things. When I take stuff apart, I just can't not clean. Like, I cleaned all the seat rails, I cleaned the bottom of the seats, I cleaned the seats all the way around. I didn't take the back seats out just because they fold down and it wasn't too bad underneath, but I did go over the carpet down below here. I cleaned all of the trim pieces that go around the ledges, as you guys saw me take them out and put them back in. I don't have the pocket that goes in these. Some of these have pockets. I just put the radio control back in there, and while I don't like the way it looks, I'll deal with that. But I also spliced in so I could use this cigarette lighter adapter. And I will tell you guys, I don't know if you noticed in the time lapse, but I forgot to put this cover back in from when we changed the actuator to start with, and the console has to be out of the way. So I had to actually unbolt the console, which it wasn't too bad. I actually caught that before I put the seats in, but two 10mm that actually bolt it to the dash. Just had to pull that back and then get that back into place. So we are back rolling. The air conditioner is working great. I have taken it up and down the road, and no issues whatsoever. I guess time will tell how it goes. We'll go over to the other side. I will tell you guys that if you didn't catch my green truck video, you do have to replace this panel and at least the surround to the glove box. You can use your glove box, which is what I did. Because the other one that I got with this was all beat up. And then I took the time to go over like all the cracks and crevices here and clean them up. And I actually took this console completely down. I took every piece off of it and cleaned it inside and out. So it smells better in here. It definitely looks better. But guys, let me know if you like this video. I know it was a long one with a lot of time lapse, but it is hot. I'm going in, I'm getting in the shower. Anyway, if you did like it, guys, please, like always, smash that thumbs up button. If you are not subscribed, guys, go down, hit that subscribe button. Make sure while you're down there you ring that bell icon. That notifies you every single time we drop a new video. And, well, stay tuned to see what we work on next.